G'day, it's Joel Rasmussen for Southern Cross Combat, and I'm here backstage at Hex 32 with Mr. Sean Gauci. Sean, I thank you very much for the time. How are you today, my friend?
I'm doing really well, man. Happy to be here at Hex.
How is it to be back? You're in a weird in-between, where you're not gone, but you're not here. So how is it to be back at Hex?
Just feels normal, to be honest, mate. I've cornered so many fights on Hex and path to Hex and road to Hex that it's just normal to be here. It feels good.
How is it, talk about being home, how is it to be back in Melbourne? You're a man originally from Melbourne, not living in Melbourne. How is it to be back home?
It's fucking cold, mate. I'm going to tell you that much.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's very cold, but I love it. I love seeing my family. I got to see my two nephews today, which was a little booster. As you know, like right now I'm in camp. So halfway through camp, just to see my little nephews was a huge booster and a big win for me, yeah.
How is being an uncle?
It's good. It's good, mate. I love it.
Not to immediately bring the mood down, but a teammate of yours, Jake Piper, was just out there tonight. Unfortunately, didn't get the victory for himself. However, while obviously the sadness that comes with that, not completely heartbroken, How is the feeling? How you were talking to him just before? How is he?
He's fine, Look, Jake's uber talented. I think that's pretty obvious to everyone. He has all the talent in the world, and he works really hard. He's just got to fine-tune a couple of things, and he'll be back. And I think, he's already in the talks of getting something organised, so... And Kasib's no slouch. I mean, Kasib's a very, very good opponent, high-level fighter, trains at a really, really good gym. So full respect to them for taking the fight on 6 days' notice, and he fought really well.
Now, you are a man who is in camp for Dana White's Contender Series, and the last time I spoke to you was post-victory. You had the belt, and, emotions were running high, but you talked about validation almost. You talked about you felt you were understated and you felt you were disrespected. To now be getting this opportunity on the highest stage, how is it?
Yeah, it feels good, man. It was kind of at a stage where I think we were running out a bit of time, and I thought, okay, they already took Stuart Nichols straight into the UFC, and just from how I felt, my gut instinct was that, okay, they're taking one of us, they're probably not going to take all of us, so that's probably it. Let's start getting back into defending my belt and fighting again locally, and then bang. You never know, do you? And we got an email, and they want me on the Dana White Contender Series, and man, I was just like, wow, this is it. This is my chance. So I've just been freaking grinding, bro. That's it.
Where were you when you found out, and who was the first person you told?
I was actually at my girlfriend's house down in Brisbane, up in Brisbane, I should say now, and the first person I told was my missus. Yeah, it was awesome, and I found out from Jeremy, my manager. And he called me. I've had two missed calls from him in the morning. He called me and he said we were talking about a potential Hex matchup, and I was like, what's going on, Jeremy? You got a weird tone of voice right now. And then all of a sudden it came out, and I was like, yeah, ecstatic, man.
What was your partner's reaction when you told her?
She couldn't believe it. She was more excited than I was, because for me, as you just said earlier, it's this weird halfway point, right? I'm grateful for the opportunity, but I'm not there yet, and you really have to, once you find out something like this, you have to remind yourself of that. It's very easy to jump to the conclusion of, oh my God, I've done it, but you just got to settle down, be appreciative for the opportunity, because it is a great opportunity. I'm very thankful to the UFC and Mick Maynard, but at the same time, I've got a job to do. Once the job is done, then I can be fully happy and as excited as she was.
Talking about the job that is ahead of you, the lead rumor at the moment is that it is you and Mr. Anthony Drilich.
By you, but I say?
Well, it could be said by anyone, but to be fair, someone else may have also had that idea at some point, but, if we could play a little bit of pretend, and we pretend that that's 100% confirmed and locked in, you are two gentlemen who have been circling each other for a while, to now finally be stepping across from him. What is that like for you?
I think it was inevitable anyway, Both promotions, Hex and Eternal, they wanted the fight to happen. There was obviously the political side of things that was making it difficult for it to happen, but it's inevitable. And I think it's just awesome that we're able to showcase, potentially, if it's us, to showcase our skills on the biggest stage, on Dana White Contender Series, and one of us is going to settle the score and prove who the best is from Australia region.
As I mentioned, there was a love triangle between you, him, and Stuart Nichols. At some point, although that fight never got booked regionally, mentally, you probably were preparing yourself. There's a chance I'm going to step in here. You said it. You felt it was inevitable. How long do you think you've been mentally preparing yourself to fight Anthony Drilich?
I've been preparing myself to fight everyone on everyone that's in and around my weight for as long as I can remember. You know, we were actually meant to fight a couple of years ago. Look, we were talking about the fight happening, and then the fight was announced a bit too soon, and I ended up getting a hip surgery, and so and that was before I came back and returned, and now I'm back. We're gonna fight, so yeah, I've been thinking about that matchup for a long time. I actually cornered Michael Manuel against Anthony Drilich back in Perth. I think it was 2019 or 2018. So I've known about Drilich for a long time. He's fought a couple of other guys that I know as well, like Michael Barber and stuff like that. So, yeah, obviously he's around my weight class. I've been planning that for a long time.
We've spoken about the move to flyweight and that decision to go there. I spoke about it with your coach yesterday, Ryan Dunstan, 2 days ago.
He made me do it, yeah.
Yeah, well, when that was, he told me a story about how that was about a year ago, or just over, where he sits down and you guys have a real conversation about we need to commit to it. To a year later, be in this position, fighting for a contract at that weight class. What do you make of that year, and what is that like for you?
I think it just validates Ryan's awareness of what he has, a really weird way of knowing what's best for you. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, he knew. Oh,
something happened.
Something big happened.
I think it was a big chaos. Why is there no monitors back here?
That's crazy. Sorry. Yeah. Now Ryan has. What is going on?
I think we're missing fight of the night right now, bro. Sorry.
What the fuck? Sorry. Yeah. Now Ryan has this way of knowing what's best for you, and yeah, he just sat me down and said. And I already knew it because I was being lazy with other 1%ers outside of training, and I kind of got thrusted into that bantamweight division because I wanted to come back at a healthy weight range for my health issues, right? So I was already wanting to go down to bantamweight, and then a fight fell through originally with Cody. I fought for the title, I won the title, and then we had another fight planned with Cody that fell through, and then the fight with Paul fell through because I got sick, and I was like, fuck, I'm not going to get another chance to go down for another 6 months. So I made the decision, and Ryan just kind of reinforced that for me, and he made my path very clear. And he just said, if you want to have a good run at this sport, if you want to be a world champion, this is the weight division for you. And before it gets too late in your career where you can't go back down there, let's do it now. So I fully dedicated myself. I work with Christoph Santo, who's my dietitian at the moment. And yeah, we're at a weight now where it's quite easy actually to make flyweight, which is good.
You said it yourself that you're in the in-between and there's still work to be done, so I'm not at all encouraging looking through the Dana White Contender Series date. However, Alex Perez is here, and he is, I believe, number 6 at the moment in the flyweight division. Have you shared any words with him? Maybe sized him up?
No, I haven't shared any words with him. I think he's going through a pretty gnarly injury at the moment.
Yeah, his knee kind of just gave up.
I know. So, look, you always, we're dudes, right? We always size each other up. But I'm actually quite a big flyweight. So I feel like I'm kind of big for the weight class. So yeah, we're just similar size. We're actually similar size, physique, everything. So that would be an interesting matchup in the future as well.
You guys will share some words a little bit later on tonight. Just a what's up, nothing intense. Just hey man, what's up? In that triangle, as I mentioned, Stuart Nickel is now in the UFC. Drilich is on Contender. Yourself is on Contender. If this same situation was happening, but Nickel wasn't gone, whoever loses on Contender, there's a clear opponent for them. There's a clear guy to come back to. However, there is no clear guy for the loser to come back to. Just in your thoughts, who do you think is kind of the next guy at flyweight if all you three are leaving?
Frank Jankowski. I think he won the Eternal belt.
Sir.
Good knockout. And I think Sean Etchell's still, people don't respect him enough. I think Sean Etchell's really good. He had a bad performance in his last fight, but that doesn't speak to his skill. And I think he's also in the upper part of the flyweight division. But yeah, Frank, obviously, young, talented kid, still coming into his own body, I feel like. But he's definitely at the front of the pack right now. He's just won the belt, so how can he not be, you know?
The reason I got my phone out is that I am... I appreciate your time. so I'm trying not to forget any questions. You guys went out for dinner, the team. I saw Jamie Edendon posted it when it first got announced about going to Contender. You guys went out for dinner, and she made you like sign the receipt. What was going on with that?
She just wants, it's just a little thing. She wants to like put it aside, just for the future. When I get into the UFC and have a run at that title, she wants to keep that. So yeah,
That's hers. She has that.
yeah, that's hers and Jeremy's. Yeah.
You don't have your own signed thing.
No,
You don't sign your own merch.
no, mate, I'm not doing that.
Maybe once you're in the UFC, maybe.
Maybe once. Yeah, we'll see.
Sign like the cards. You know how they do like cards.
Yeah, I have my own little card. That'll be
You're
sick.
to make some money off that.
Exactly. Maybe.
If I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong. While you've been down in Melbourne, you stopped by Dominance, the gym you were training at, and you still rep, but you were training at while you were in Melbourne. How was it to be back in Dominance?
It was good. A couple of the people are away today because I think there was the Gathering Jiu-Jitsu competition on. So not, like the familiar faces like Dave Hart, my jiu-jitsu coach, and a few of the other boys that I train with weren't there, unfortunately. But I'll see them on Monday because I head out on Wednesday. But it was great to be there. I got to spar with Michael Barber, and it's always fun to spar. People who don't know Michael Barber, he's like the hardest person to spar because he just walks forward the whole freaking time, and he's impossible. So yeah, that was a bit of fun. Yeah.
Sean, I thank you so much for the time. Enjoy the fights. Enjoy your time in Melbourne. Enjoy being, home. Thank you so much, man. Best of luck in the fight. I greatly appreciate the time.
Thank you.